Brown University Marketing and Communications Policy Training Modules, helping you tell Brown stories. This training module will help you understand the Brown Image Use Policy, what it requires, and when certain uses require written permission from the people in the images. Image Use Policy. Please be sure to read Brown's Image Use Policy. This training module is intended to supplement the Brown Image Use Policy and help you understand how to apply it. Telling the story of the vitality and vibrance of the Brown University experience depends on capturing the people who live, work, and visit campus every day. Brown's Image Use Policy governs the use of still and motion images that include students, faculty, staff, alumni, and visitors to Brown University's campus. Institutions that are not in compliance with the law may face legal claims. Rights to a photo or video work are governed by intellectual property laws. Two kinds of laws govern the use of images for communications produced in the United States: copyright law of the United States and federal and state privacy laws. The rights of the individual persons captured in the image are governed by privacy laws, which differ from state to state. Avoid legal liability. Brown's Image Use Policy ensures compliance specifically with Rhode Island privacy law as well as federal laws. Have you read it? When you need permission. Number 1. The individuals captured are identifiable and have an expectation of privacy. Number 2. The individuals captured are identifiable and the image is used for marketing or promotional purposes. The law requires written permission for use of an image if either or both of these two conditions are met. Here is how to determine when written permission is needed. There are 5 broad categories: identifiability, expectation of privacy, marketing versus news, minors, and context. 1. Identifiability. The first consideration is if any individuals in the image are identifiable. Consider whether the distance renders individual identity ambiguous, action blurs faces in motion, or partial profiles or other camera angles obscure identity. Photo effects or placement of graphics also may obscure identity. The size of the image in the medium where it is published will impact whether the person is identifiable. If anyone in the image is identifiable, you must consider other questions to determine whether there is a violation of privacy without written permission. Is the image a public crowd or gathering shot in which no individuals could make the case that they were singled out for promotion? Individuals have no expectation of privacy when captured as part of a crowd at a public event. The term crowd, in this context, need not apply to a literal crowd or audience. It can also apply to gatherings or groups, such as a class studying outside, a procession of people in a line, a mass of people on a green, etc. But even within a crowd shot, you cannot single out an individual or row of people without permission. Consider whether any individuals in the crowd could make the case that you focused on them for marketing or promotional use. Without permission, you could not picture one elated band member in an ad stating, "Brown hosts the best concerts." 2. Expectation of privacy. Consider whether the individuals in the image have an expectation of privacy at the moment the photo was taken. At Brown, greens, streets, classes, laboratories, museums, and events are considered public, while residential spaces, libraries, worship spaces are considered private unless they are the venue for a public event. Images taken in private spaces require permission. If there is no expectation of privacy, you still need to consider other questions. Some activities make it clear that the individuals pictured have no expectation of privacy. For example, musical or performance groups, while performing in public, do not have an expectation of individual privacy. This applies to images representing the group, but not focusing on a single member of the group. Are the individuals truly a recognized group, or simply a collection of individuals who may or may not welcome promotion of their individual participation in the activity? For example, the public group test may not apply to a group of protesters. 3. News versus marketing. Determine whether the image is for news or documentary use or for marketing or promotional use. News. A factual account of an individual, initiative, or event that would be news to the reader for purposes of relaying information. News imagery usually does not require written permission. Documentary. The factual documenting of a person, initiative, program, or event purely for the purpose of relaying information. Documentary use usually does not require written permission. Promotional or marketing. Promotional or marketing use relates to publicizing an organization, event, or venture to increase public awareness or to motivate action, such as attendance, donation, participation, or enrollment. Marketing or promotional uses require permission from the individuals pictured. Consider whether the image will ever be used for a purpose other than news or documentary. Consider usage across media. For example, print, website, or email. When in doubt, get a release that covers multiple purposes. Virtually any news image can have value as a marketing image. It is commonplace at Brown for images to be shared for multiple purposes. 4. Minors. Be very careful when photographing minors. The featured use of identifiable images of minors for marketing or promotional purposes require written permission from a parent or legal guardian in every circumstance, without exception. 5. Context. The context of the image is another consideration. Have you captured a group of people without expectation of privacy participating in an event on the college green? If so, you would not need permission. Have you focused on a few graduates in the front row at a public event for the purpose of a commencement brochure? If so, you would need permission. Have you captured students engaged in a lively conversation on the college green, and are you using that image to recruit, fundraise, or promote your program? In this case, you need permission. Consider whether the individual pictured could make an argument that you use the image in a way that would give a false impression. For instance, have you inadvertently applied a position of support or opposition by highlighting a person at a protest rally? Ensure that you make no assumptions about the action in the image or motivation of the people pictured. How to obtain permission. The department at Brown intending to use the image must obtain written consent from the individuals pictured before the images can be used for marketing or promotional use. The Office of University Communications has a general model release, the Image Use, General Consent and Release Form. The Image Use, General Consent and Release Form can be found at brown.edu/university-communications. A unit at Brown is not able to seek blanket permission from individuals, which would give permission to be photographed or recorded for any occasion at any time. However, an image release may cover a series of activities as long as the specific dates and activities are listed. For example, a student may grant permission for an image to be taken during a particular class throughout the year. The form should always list specific dates. Permissions should relate to the specific context in which an image is taken to protect against claims that individuals did not anticipate their image would be used in an unforeseen context. Please refer to these web pages for the full policy and the general consent and release form. Read the full policy at brown.edu/go/image-use-policy. For the form, visit brown.edu/go/image-consent. If you have any questions, contact the Office of University Communications at marketing_communications@brown.edu or at media_relations@brown.edu.